How many things in your life are holding you back, draining you, and keeping you from being truly free? The truth is, we're surrounded by negative influences, self-destructive habits, and obligations that don't make sense. Yet, we cling to them anyway. Why? Fear? Guilt? Attachment? The ancient Stoics understood that much of our suffering comes from our inability to let go of what we can't control. Seneca once said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." In other words, many of the burdens we carry are created by us, because we're afraid of change. Today, I want to help you break that cycle. In this video, I'll show you 11 things you need to silently remove from your life. No big announcements, no asking for permission. Because those who truly want to grow understand that the most significant changes happen quietly, without needing validation. If you feel like your life is a mess, your mind is overwhelmed, and your peace has been stolen, then this video is for you. I'll guide you through a process of letting go, rooted in Stoic principles, so you can focus only on what you can control, and release everything else. Pay close attention, because the last item on the list might be the hardest to eliminate, but also the most liberating. If you can apply this to your life, you'll realize that living with more clarity and lightness is much simpler than it seems. So, if you're ready to take this step and finally take control of your life, come with me. Let's get started. 1. Toxic relationships. Sometimes, we hold on to people who, instead of lifting us up, drag us down. These relationships, often without us realizing it, drain our energy, peace, and essence. What makes them so hard to let go of is the false belief that they're irreplaceable. We make excuses like, "They've always been there," or "What if I never find someone like them again?" But deep down, we're confusing habit with affection and dependency with true love. Stoic philosophy reminds us that while we can't control how others act, we have full control over our choices. One of the most transformative decisions you can make is to quietly step away from those who harm you. No dramatic confrontations or lengthy explanations are needed. Just a subtle shift, prioritizing your well-being. Acting without fanfare is an act of self-care. Silence avoids unnecessary conflict, preserves your energy, and allows you to focus on what truly matters. When you let go of a toxic relationship without a fuss, you're prioritizing your emotional health and showing that you value your well-being over connections that no longer serve you. Life is too short to carry burdens that aren't yours. Let go quietly, without guilt or regret. By doing so, you'll create space for relationships that nurture, uplift, and help you flourish. The choice is yours, and the time is now. Free yourself and allow yourself to live the life you deserve. 2. The fear of other people's opinions. How many times have you held yourself back because you were afraid of what others might think? This fear, which may seem small, is one of the biggest barriers to living an authentic life. It pushes us down paths that aren't ours, keeps us stuck in a comfort zone that no longer serves us, and pulls us away from our true essence. The truth is, people are far too busy dealing with their own insecurities to judge you. And even if they do, their opinions say more about them than about you. The fear of judgment paralyzes us, making us second-guess every decision and stray from our true desires. How many dreams have been postponed? How many opportunities lost? All because someone might think something. The irony is that, most of the time, those opinions don't even exist. They're projections of our own minds, born from an almost unconscious need to be accepted. To overcome this fear, you need to look inward. Stoic philosophy reminds us that while we can't control what others think, we have complete power over how we respond. This takes courage, self-awareness, and the decision to prioritize your happiness over others' approval. Imagine the freedom of living without worrying about external judgments. It's not a utopia. It's a daily choice, a practice of letting go that starts with small steps. At the end of the day, your life is yours. You weren't born to live according to others' expectations. When you free yourself from the fear of judgment, you discover a priceless freedom. The freedom to be who you truly are. And that, more than any approval, is what will make you truly happy. 3. Stop over-explaining. Your choices are yours. How often have you caught yourself justifying simple decisions, like what to wear or how to spend your time? This need to explain every choice, as if we needed external validation, chips away at our self-confidence and distances us from who we really are. The truth is, You don't owe anyone an explanation for how you live your life. We live in a culture that demands justification for everything. At work, in relationships, or on social media, it seems like every move needs to be explained and validated. But your life is yours, and your choices don't need a manual to be understood by others. The Stoics understood this, valuing action over words. Instead of trying to convince others, focus on acting in alignment with your values and goals. Dealing with social pressure is a challenge. People may expect you to justify your choices, but you're not obligated to meet those expectations. Learning to say, "because I decided so," or simply not responding can be liberating. This isn't about being rude, it's about setting healthy boundaries and prioritizing your peace of mind. When you stop over-explaining, you strengthen your self-confidence. Acting without seeking approval is a way of telling yourself, "I trust my judgment." Of course, there are times when explanations are necessary, but most of the time, your personal choices don't need to be detailed. Think about it. How much time do you spend explaining things that just need to be lived? The simplicity of acting without validation brings freedom and lightness. So, act with confidence, live authentically, and own your narrative. After all, life is about living, not explaining. 4. Self-destructive habits. How many times have you caught yourself repeating behaviors that, deep down, you know aren't helping you? That compulsive phone check first thing in the morning, the procrastination that wastes precious hours, or even that extra cup of coffee that only ramps up your anxiety. These small actions may seem harmless at first, but over time, they chip away at your energy and inner peace. What makes these habits so dangerous is how subtly they sneak into your routine. They don't announce that they're going to harm you. In fact, they often disguise themselves as comfort or distraction. But at the end of the day, you're left with the feeling that you're running in circles, making no progress on what truly matters. This is where Stoic wisdom comes in. Big changes don't need to be loud. You don't need to shout to the world that you're going to change or make grand promises. Real transformation begins in silence, with small daily adjustments. For example, what if you swapped 10 minutes of social media scrolling for a short meditation, or replaced that third cup of coffee with a glass of water? These are simple gestures, but when repeated consistently, they can have a profound impact. Don't be fooled. Eliminating self-destructive habits isn't about becoming perfect. It's about recognizing that you deserve more than living on autopilot, stuck in patterns that don't serve you. It's about choosing every day to prioritize your well-being over inertia. So, start today. Identify one habit that's weighing you down and, quietly, without fanfare, let it go. You don't need a grand ceremony to break free. Just take it one step at a time, with patience and kindness toward yourself. After all, as the philosopher Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. And often, the best reaction is simply to stop feeding what doesn't serve you. 5. The habit of complaining. How many times have you caught yourself complaining today? About traffic, your boss, the weather. At first glance, it seems harmless, but complaining is like a slow leak that drains your mental and emotional energy. Complaining doesn't solve problems. It amplifies feelings of helplessness and creates a vicious cycle. The more you complain, the more reasons you find to keep complaining. The Stoics saw complaining as resistance to reality. Instead of accepting what's out of your control or taking action to change what's within your power, complaining keeps you stuck in a loop of dissatisfaction. And what does that bring? More stress and less clarity to see solutions. The key to breaking this cycle lies in two words: acceptance and action. If something can be changed, take action. Focusing on what you can do is more productive than repeating what's wrong. If the problem is beyond your control, like traffic or the weather, acceptance is the way forward. This isn't about passivity. It's about understanding that wasting energy on what you can't change is pointless. A powerful exercise is to turn complaints into gratitude. Instead of complaining about traffic, be grateful you have a way to get around. Instead of complaining about work, think about the opportunities it provides. This shift in perspective reduces negativity and opens the door to creativity and resilience. Remember, life isn't perfect, and it doesn't need to be. What matters is how you choose to handle challenges. Instead of complaining, choose to act or accept. Your peace of mind will thank you. 6. Dealing with people who hurt you. At some point in life, we all encounter people who hurt us. It could be a friend who betrayed your trust, a partner who disrespected your boundaries, or a family member who ignored your feelings. The challenge isn't just overcoming the pain, but deciding how to move forward without letting that experience define who you are. One of the biggest traps is the need to explain your pain to the person who caused it. We want them to understand how much they hurt us, but most of the time, this only leads to more frustration. People who hurt others are rarely willing to take responsibility or change their behavior. Insisting on seeking their understanding is exhausting and unproductive. This is where the wisdom of silence comes in. Instead of wasting energy trying to make the other person understand your pain, channel that energy into your own growth. Accept that some people will never change, and that's okay. Walking away without explanations or justifications isn't weakness. It's an act of self-preservation and self-respect. Healing begins when you decide to look inward, understand what you're feeling, and gradually release the weight you're carrying. A helpful exercise is to write a letter to the person who hurt you, putting everything you want to say on paper, and then destroy it. This symbolic ritual can be liberating. Remember, you don't need to announce to the world that you're walking away from someone. Silently removing toxic relationships is an act of self-care. By doing this, you create space for new connections that align with who you are and what you deserve. In the end, the greatest gift you can give yourself is the freedom to move forward without looking back. 7. Mastering calm in tense moments. Imagine anger or frustration as a wave. If you try to fight it, you'll be swept away. But if you learn to ride it, you can turn that energy into forward motion. In tense moments, raising your voice or losing control might feel like a release, but in reality, it only amplifies the problem and exposes your vulnerabilities. True mastery lies in channeling those intense emotions into something productive, without letting them take over. When anger arises, it's like a spark. Instead of letting it set everything around you on fire, take a deep breath and ask yourself, what is this emotion trying to tell me? Often, anger is a sign that something needs to change, whether it's within you, in the situation, or in how you're handling it. Pausing and reflecting before reacting can transform that energy into something useful, like planning a solution or diving into a personal project. Techniques like meditation, deep breathing, or a brisk walk can help dissipate built-up tension. The goal isn't to suppress your emotions, but to learn how to manage them so they don't control you. Staying calm is crucial because raising your voice or losing control damages relationships and leaves room for regret. Words spoken in the heat of the moment can leave deep scars that are hard to heal. Gratitude is a powerful antidote to anger. When you focus on what's already good in your life, the people who support you, the achievements you've made, frustration loses its grip. Anger often stems from a sense of lack or injustice. But by cultivating gratitude, you reconnect with what truly matters and find the serenity to face challenges. So the next time tension arises, take a deep breath, pause, and choose to act with calm. Mastering this art not only strengthens you from within, but also turns moments of crisis into opportunities for growth. 8. The fear of change. Life is made up of cycles, and change is inevitable. Even so, it's natural to feel afraid when facing the new, whether it's moving to a new city, starting a new job, or ending a relationship. This fear paralyzes us, making us cling to the familiar, even when it no longer serves us. Resisting change is like fighting against the tide. You'll only exhaust yourself. The fear of change arises because the unknown frightens us. We hold on to the illusion of control, the false security that if we keep everything as is, we'll be protected. However, life never stops surprising us, and trying to control the uncontrollable only creates anxiety and frustration. The key is learning to embrace change as a natural part of the journey. A practical exercise for dealing with fear is to focus on what you can gain, rather than what you might lose. Every change brings opportunities, new experiences, lessons, and connections. When you begin to see change as an ally, fear loses its grip. Cultivate a flexible mindset and ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Or how can I grow from this experience? These questions transform fear into curiosity. You don't need to face changes alone. Seek support from people who inspire you and encourage you to move forward. Sharing your concerns and hearing different perspectives can help you see change in a more positive light. Life is too short to stay stuck in what no longer serves you. Accept, adapt, and move forward. 9. Physical and mental clutter. Clutter, whether physical or mental, has a profound impact on our well-being. When our environment is filled with accumulated objects or pending tasks, our mind reflects this chaos. It becomes difficult to concentrate, make decisions, or relax. The same happens when our mind is overwhelmed with disorganized thoughts and excessive worries. All of this consumes energy and prevents us from living with clarity and lightness. The Stoics already understood the importance of eliminating the superfluous. They believed that focusing on the essential, both in the material and mental world, was the key to a peaceful and meaningful life. This practice teaches us that to move forward, we must leave behind what doesn't help us grow. Start with the physical environment. Set aside a few minutes each day to organize a space around you, whether it's a drawer, a work desk, or your phone screen. Notice how discarding what isn't useful brings a sense of relief and control. This small gesture can be the first step toward creating a more harmonious and functional environment. Now, apply the same logic to your mind. Identify thoughts or worries that are taking up unnecessary space. Ask yourself, does this really matter? Is this under my control? If the answer is no, let it go. Writing in a journal can help organize ideas and gain clarity. Create mental cleansing rituals, like meditation or silent walks, to discard what doesn't serve you and prioritize what truly matters. Clutter consumes energy, and by releasing these burdens, you create space for the new, for creative ideas, moments of peace, and more meaningful connections. 10. Mindful use of social media. Social media is an inevitable part of modern life. It connects, informs, and entertains, but it can also consume our time, energy, and mental peace if not used mindfully. The problem isn't with the platforms themselves, but in how we use them, often automatically, without reflecting on their impact on our well-being. How many hours have you lost mindlessly scrolling through feeds? That time could be invested in something more meaningful, like learning a new skill or spending quality time with loved ones. Moreover, constantly seeing highlights from others' lives can lead to feelings of inadequacy. It's easy to forget that everyone has ups and downs, and social media shows only an edited version of reality. To use social media healthfully, start by setting clear boundaries. Establish specific times to access networks and, outside these periods, keep your phone away. Clean up your feed, following only accounts that inspire you or bring joy, and eliminating profiles that make you feel bad. Before opening an app, ask yourself, why am I doing this? If the answer is boredom or habit, consider doing something more productive, like reading a book or meditating. Disable unnecessary notifications and set aside one day a week to go completely offline. Use this time to reconnect with yourself, with nature, or with loved ones. When used with intentionality, social media can be powerful tools for personal and professional growth. The secret lies in balancing consumption and prioritizing what really matters. By reducing unconscious use, you reclaim precious hours, decrease anxiety, and rediscover what truly matters, living an authentic, present, and fulfilling life. After all, life happens here and now, not on a phone screen. 11. Avoiding gossip. Participating in gossip and spreading negativity might seem harmless, but the long-term effects are profound. These behaviors affect our emotional well-being and erode trust in the relationships we build. Every word we choose to say influences not only our surrounding environment, but also how we see ourselves and how others see us. When we engage in gossip, we feed a cycle of distrust and judgment. These conversations create misunderstandings, conflicts, and can destroy important bonds. Moreover, the negativity we spread tends to come back to us, creating a toxic environment that drains our energy and distances us from a healthy mindset. To move away from this pattern, start with awareness. Observe the conversations you participate in and, if you notice them heading toward gossip or criticism, gently redirect the subject. Highlight something positive about the person or situation, or shift the focus to a more constructive topic. This attitude interrupts the cycle of negativity and demonstrates maturity. Practice empathy. Before speaking about someone, ask yourself if you would like others to say the same about you. This simple reflection helps curb judgments and promotes more compassionate communication. Additionally, evaluate your surroundings. Connecting with people who value positivity and respect makes it easier to maintain these values in your life. Remember that your words have power. They can build or destroy, heal or hurt. By choosing positive and respectful communication, you not only improve your relationships but also contribute to a healthier environment. Choose your words carefully and sow kindness in every interaction. Your inner peace and well-being will thank you. The great Stoic lesson is that the power of change lies within you. Small eliminations can generate great transformations. Now, tell me, which of these 12 things will you start eliminating today? Comment below. If this video helped you in any way, leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. And look, there's another video you might like appearing on screen now. Watch it and continue your journey of evolution. See you next time.